Hey guys, this is Bumblebee85 coming at you again with another video review. I know it's been some time, but I really want to get back into doing this regularly. So I'm going to start off with this nice, easy to do Marvel Legends series X-Men Marvel's Mystique from Hasbro. Now this is a EB exclusive over here in Canada, and it's just starting to pop up in the Americas at GameStops, I believe, and I've been looking forward to this figure. This figure does need an update, or has needed an update, from the previous two attempts that Marvel Legends has given us, and I'll show those off a little bit later. But this is Mystique in the packaging, her typical white costume. It says X-Men Marvel's Mystique, Hasbro. It's a very nice box. It's got the X-Men logo on top there. This is not a Build-A-Figure, so it does not come with a Build-A-Figure piece. You don't have to worry about completing the whole set. On the side of the package, we have a nice image of Mystique. That's the same image on both sides, actually. And on the back, what I noticed is the image is slightly different. The head tilt and the hair line and jawline is actually different than the image on the side of the box. The rest of the body seems to be the same, where her hand meets her hips there, and all the other lines throughout her costume are the same, except the head tilt is a little bit different on the back of the box compared to, and it's not just the shape of the box. The jaw actually comes down, you can see, to the neckline, where the jaw is actually above the neckline, and the hair curl at the top is flat over here and actually curls on there. Something to notice anyway. But this is the back of the box. It says Marvel's Mystique, an expert of duplication and duplicity. Mystique uses powers of shape-shifting to assume other identities and complete covert missions. That's Mystique. Yeah, so that's the package. Marvel Legends again, nothing on there. This is what I did pay for it at my EB Games here with the Platinum price card, $26.99. So it comes, I think it comes to $30.50 exactly. So that is in Canadian prices. This is Marvel Legends Mystique. So let's get her out of the packaging. Just a quick note here that I noticed with the packagation. This is a multiple man box that I have, where the plastic is on the outside, or still attached to the box, is where I open Mystique, and there is actually no plastic attached to the actual cardboard box. There is actually a whole piece of plastic slipped over Mystique, and she's just not in a clamshell as to where like a previous figures would be just inserted and then slid in behind the actual box plastic. So that's something different. I haven't seen that with a Marvel Legend before. Just something I thought I would point out there. So yes, we are still taking Mystique out of the packaging, and that is how it's done. Okay, and here we have Mystique out of the packaging. That was a quite little surprise, a neat little surprise that I found with the packaging. I didn't think it was going to be like that. Pretty neat. Now, she does come with a surprising amount of accessories, which is always nice to have with Marvel Legends. I always feel like Marvel Legends should be more like a G.I. Joe, where they have a lot more accessories than they actually need, and it gives you a lot of more display options. But anyway, she comes with this gold little rocket launcher type gun. We've seen this before with other Marvel Legends. Just as one solid gold color, a lot of good detail. But I think with some other figures, you've seen this gun before. maybe with some Hydra figures and maybe the Punisher or something like that. We've seen this gun. She also comes with this little pea shooter. Other characters have also come with this gun, but this is in a solid gold color. Nice little pistol for Mystique. And a couple of heads she comes with is this transitioning head of Rogue. So she's turning from Mystique and disguising herself as Rogue. So it still has the gold painted eyes. The hair is a little bit of red going into the brown, which is a nice little touch, and half her face is blue, but that's the Rogue head. Nicely done. We also get this Lilandra head. Why? We're unsure. Yes, Mystique has the power to shapeshift, and plopping this head, I'll show you that in a second. Plopping this head on her puts the rest of her body out of whack, but it's nicely painted. Pink lips, the black tattoo type markings on her face. Nicely done. The silver. But yeah, that's her alternate, one of her alternate heads there. And taking a closer look at Mystique. She's got this nice little grin going on there. You can actually see her teeth through the smile there. Silver skull painted on her forehead. Nice red hair. It actually has a nice wash going on the bottom of her hair. You can see it getting darker towards the bottom. That's a really nice effect. Her typical white costume. This piece is separate. It's a softer, pliable plastic there with the gold skull belt, which holds that around her waist. You cannot remove it. It is one solid piece. There's no way to remove that without popping her in half there. But yeah, it's blue and white Mystique. Very nicely done. She's got nice red eyebrows on there too. Her chest piece is actually different than Psylocke's and Rogue's, and I'll show Rogue off here in a second. But here is Marvel Legends' first attempt at Mystique. This is the Toy Biz days. Little slender, not so much red noticeable in the hair, but the costume is generically the same. She has very tiny feet, and it's hard to make her stand. But we'll do our best here. She might be leaning forward a bit. And there's that version of Mystique. We also have this other Hasbro version of Mystique, a little bit longer hair, but they gave her not so common black outfit. A little more bony, structured face, some more cleavage going on here, and a darker blue. But this costume kind of was the beginning of the change for Marvel Legends. There's no ankle tilt or ankle pivot, and some of the joints with the ball hip joints still. They finally evolved into what we have now, which I think is a lot better. The skull is even just painted on this forehead as if where it is molded on the old, or the new Mystique, sorry. And one more quick comparison. Here she is to her daughter Rogue. And that's where this head sculpt comes from. The same flowing hair, but we get that wash effect in the hair transitioning from red to brown, where she will have all brown and some more white in the top of her head there. So now I will quickly show off the heads on Mystique. Here is her Rogue head, and it simply just pops off and pops on. Get it all the way on. on. There we go. So that's what she looks like with her Rogue head. And you could put this head on this other Rogue to get the other half of the transitioning effect, so that it just looks like she is now fully transitioning into Rogue, or morphing into Rogue there. So you can get both effects kind of like that. And here is her Lilandra head. Again, it just pops on. And that one's a little different. So people are putting this head on the Silver Sable from the Spider-Man wave, the current Spider-Man wave. And that kind of works. But again, it's just not a full Lilandra character. But people are doing it. And she can just hold her guns in her hand. Oh, and this is removable, by the way. Just plugs right up in there. This little ammo pack. But she can hold her guns, and each gun can be held in either hand. This hand has the rolling of the dice, so it rolls up and down like this, where this hand on her left hand side actually goes in and out like that. So she has no problem holding her guns. You just got to wedge them in there a little bit. Her articulation is a standard female body ball-headed joint on a hinge. So you got a lot of movement there. Rotation up and down, shoulder joints, rotation all the way around. Hinge elbow with a rotation in there also. Like I said, back and forth, and rotation at the wrist. This one actually rolls up and down like she's chucking some dice. The upper torso rotation joint there. She can kick forward with a little bit of rotation pretty far. Back, pretty good for a female. It's out a little bit. Out and back a little bit. She can't do the splits. As females, I think, should be able to do a little more splits than that. She does have the upper thigh joint rotation there. Double hinge knees. And up and down in the ankle. And also ankle pivot. And 2 peg holes for whenever we need peg holes for nowadays. And like I said, this piece is separate, just flops around, but you can rotate it and tilt it to get your desired effect. And as you can see, the chests are different. This is a more clothing appropriate style looking chest, where the chesticles there aren't fully defined by the costume, as where Rogues are like totally outlined by the spandex. And even Psylocks are kind of like Rogues, just not as voluptuous. But there you have it. Marvel Legends Mystique. Very much needed updated figure from the Marvel Legend crew. Greatly appreciate that. So there you have it. Hasbro's Marvel Legends Mystique. Enjoy the play. And thanks for being patient with me. More videos to come. Stay tuned.